Wasabi. That was so bad. That was so old. That was so 90s. What's going on? This is Jeeves here, the old composer, the decomposer, the key of Jeeves. I'm here on Twitch under the pseudonym The Abbacado Show. Oh my God, I'm the branding nightmare from hell. As we know, my friends here on Twitch agree with me always. Anyhow, I got my shelf of wonderful mods that are hanging out and helping me make sure I stay afloat. And we're going to be just getting right into some music. I just had a blast playing the team before we started this stream. Some stuff, fresh stuff that I did, I'll be releasing later. But yeah, you know, if you come here on Twitch and you join and you hang out, always before these, I'm making a fool of myself. So I do that in all different sorts of genres. So today we are going to take a cruise of cheesy wheels and donos. I've got a good handful of donos here. For those of you who are seeing this on YouTube, you got to come and hang out with us on Twitch. It's a great little fun community. All of the Kados, which is the sub name for the people in the chat, we're just music nerds. Any style of music, I don't care. Any style of music, it's been brought before us. It has been presented to us, audio files, and we listen to it. Just the quick rules really quick. If anybody's lurking in the background, I think most of the people already know this, but if you put anything in for the Wheel of Cheese, nothing more than 7 minutes. And the latest rule that's been kind of implemented, even if you do donos, nothing more than 15 minutes. So I just want to go ahead and send that out there. Whoa. So what do you say we get going? We're going to do a handful of donos first, then cheese, then donos and cheese, because I still have to make up some that actually came in about a week and a half ago. So we're actually going to start with It Snows in Australia. Is the profile name here. Uh-oh, I just took a look at the thumbnail, and I guess we all have to get our music reading skills, chops going. Something like that. So that's what I'm talking about. Let's see what we got. We got something here called Iken Kills. That's the name of the band, I believe, or the artist, and the name of the song is Branus. So we're doing this. Are you ready? This very first one is from It Snows in Australia. Let's go. Oh, it's you? You're the composer? Let's go. Oh, no, you're not. Oh, okay. Oh, it's a composer. Gotcha. Even in of itself, it can create a nightmare for you. Just the emotional pull from this. I didn't see the meter start. It must be, this must be a rubato. Almost in a semblance of a chord there. Like discernible notes in the pattern making. It's almost like it's trying to straighten out into something within a key at this point. Giving us a hint of pulling up from this distorted kind of emotional journey for the last 5 minutes. It's almost like as if this was a test of notated dynamics. Baha, I think the answer is it was a competition of sorts because it says winner, Siddelicious winner or something. So that's really nice right there. There's something pretty about that section right here. And there it went. I think that's it. At least based on the music I'm reading. I think we finished it. Oh, hey, performance notes. Yeah, thanks. No thanks. That obviously it seemed like it was a like part of a contest. I mean, because it says here that it's a winner of something. So I don't know if Sedalicious is a competition of sorts. This definitely was performed by a live performance. Extremely tense. I've used maybe 2 bars of this type of composition to cause chaos or cause, spider tingly vibes or something like that in compositions, when I'm writing certain things that had, matching visuals. To hear 9 minutes of this, it was a bit much for me. There's no two ways about it. I kind of felt like there was an exercise in how discursive and dynamics can someone go as an orchestrator and composer to compose something that's out of the norm? Like, how do you use all the techniques of the stringed instruments that we were listening to in the ways that are not typically written down in dynamics in, let's say, 85% of the temporary compositions from string arrangements for songs all the way up to orchestral works, the very unique tapping on the upside down of the bow with the wood on the strings hard enough to get, that you actually hearing the snap of the, or not the snap, the pop of the fret, not the fret, the neck. So it kind of to touch on what Aman had put there as well, is that there is an acquired taste. There are the nuances and stuff. For myself, though, 9.5 minutes of this, I thought that maybe perhaps the composer was being a lot more focused on, I'm going to use this as my sound palette and emphasize more kind of rubato techniques or a rubato technique in composition. It wasn't in a straight tempo or anything. It was kind of pull and up and painful and not so painful. Almost like taking a bandage off of a wound kind of vibe. Slowly and then a little release, and slowly and a little release. And then there was a couple of areas where I was like, oh, it's going to line up into something, and it didn't. But the composer did a phenomenal job in relaying the energy or selling you on, unsettling you on being unsettled and being in a purgatory kind of vibe with that, so. But very interesting. What the bummer is that the way this video is showing, it was hurting my eyes a little bit trying to follow along. I had to kind of do what I call rainbow sight reading, which is just sit back and just look at the whole complete flow of the dynamics without actually, reading the notes because it was kind of far away. But thank you for that. I know it said it was noted in 4/4, but I don't know. I know that I heard it sped up and slowed down and sped up, but then again, there was so much going behind it that was not traditional, let's just say, that it could have given you that essence of whatever that was. So anyhow, thanks. What a way to start the stream. And I'm not dogging on it. I'm just saying that was a lot of focus and tension and me trying to figure things out there. Thank you, It's Notes. I hope you're doing well. Next up is we're going to be doing something from the Kebab Seller. The Kebab Seller is not here. We know that. He parachutes in when he can. And he's got a song for us. I'm not sure when your next stream is going to be, but I'm going to leave this here anyhow. This guy has more than 14 variations of his theme over 20 years. I've downloaded 2 before. Here's another one. Okay, so he's bringing it back to us. So the Kebab Seller wants us to listen to from the game OST, Dynasty Warriors 8. And the name of the track is Theme of Lubu. Lubu? Theme of Lubu. I think I said it right. You guys will straighten me out. If I didn't, here we go. What a great 80s grind here. Nice sizzle on the amps. Definite thrash metal riffage there. Get some of that melody in there. Here we go. So if this is a theme, this must be part of a leitmotif that might repeat itself a couple times more through the game. I don't know if those are like some really distant taiko drums back there that are banging away. I like that it's doubled guitar and not using a doubler. Well, a doubler is more recent in the last 10 years. Give us a fade here. I take it, the kebab seller, I take it that this must be a loop, and that's why it was a fade out. Those guitars, well, the whole style sounded very 80s thrash. I loved how the kit was pretty dry. That was a nice little change up there. And kind of narrow on, even though there was stereo imaging on it, it was a little narrow on that. The lead work is very Satriani. That's why it's pulling back. I don't know when this game came out. I don't know when this theme was originally released. If it was released within the game, well, then based on the sound, I'm going to have to say late mid-90s. I don't know, maybe when this, or if this is a theme re-release in a cleaner version. I'm not too sure. I got to admit, though, that boom, boom started to wear me down just a little bit. 2011, okay. Yeah, those kind of, I don't know if it was taiko drums or something in the back. I was kind of a little, okay, we're done. Oh, how are we going to keep hitting it on there? But maybe that has something to do also with the video game. But very thrashy, you know? Oh, it's a newer version of the theme. Okay, good. All right, I get what's going on. All right. I dug it. I love the thrashiness of it. And Amon had made also a note that he said earlier about the scoop sound of the guitars. That was great, but I love the fact that it was doubled. Just, I'm just saying, not using a doubler, but doubled. There's little nuances you pick off in your ear when you get double guitars like that. And of course, it seemed like it was very nostalgic for a lot of people. Hendenblur, are you here? Hendenblur, this is your 40K redeem. I don't know if you're here, brother, but here we go. This is an interesting band from the early 2000s out of Japan. They have a rough sound of the era's post-rock, and they're referenced as influences. Their references as influences is Pink Floyd, Radiohead, The Doors, and Velvet Underground. Huh, that's a unique salad bar. Their sounds have been described as a mix of post-rock, dream pop, and math pop. To me, they have all sorts of driving but anxious sounds mixed in with their psychedelic elements. Wow, this sounds kind of shakadoobies. All right, guys, this is Hendenblur, 40,000K redeem. 40,000K? Bruh. 40K redeem. And the name of the artist is, I'm going to say KACICA, or KACICA, or KACICA, K-A-C-I-C-A. I'm just saying. The name of the song is Daydream. Hey, Hendenblur, what's going on? Here we go. Patty Case, giving me a hard time. Microtonal things that happen in post-rock work. Is it just me? I was leaning into a little bit of a shoegaze thing, but I'm still learning about it. The genre, but that's how it feels for me. As an element in the production of the whole thing. Very interesting section. I like this. Great pattern to melt in, but that spacey sound that comes in now and then. That's a great element to it. Ooh, I love how they straighten this out. Instead of just having that straight eighth pattern without accent, I really love how they straighten it out right here. I mean, even though the bass is still doing the eighth straightforward, the guitar arrangement changed up and gave a little bit of negative space in there. Got a little stoner rocky here, or sludgy. Oh, that's a good call, Shane. Very Isis, you're right. Hendibler, you were spot on about, excuse me, the blend of genres that were there. I didn't hear too much of the dream popish, except for maybe some of the floating elements at the beginning. But the Pink Floyd, I can't remember. Thinking of the other band right now. I'm a little old. Radiohead. The Pink Floyd Radiohead influence was very apparent up front, but then as it moved into this last 2 minutes, getting into that post rock sound, which that I think in of itself, post rock, if I understand stoner and sludge, is part of. I'm not too sure. You genre specialists can get me in on that. And also the last 2 minutes, as it kind of straightened out a little bit, I did, like I said earlier, I liked when we were just kind of chilling on a pattern, but there were these little these really super high notes that had this kind of pseudo spacey kind of tone to it. And that kind of play off of the eighths that I said earlier. Then I really enjoyed it when they gave us a little bit of a nice wheelbarrow full of dirt, and kind of dropped in kind of a sludgy stoner sound of the guitar. But I really enjoyed the track, especially as being as it's not abstract, it's extremely creative. The older I'm getting, the more I'm getting into very creative, listening on how people are doing. I think one of the most extraordinary things that I've learned on this journey here, not only on Twitch, but then just me doing all this, is just how myopic, I say this, I admit to it, how myopic my production path was. I produce music, it's going to sound this way, I'm going to engineer it this way, it's always going to be that, and then I realize I've engineered myself into my own personal way of doing it. But this particular journey, I'm like going, it's allowable, and we could do that, and that works, and oh my God, I would have never thought of that. I mean, I would have thought of it, but then I probably would have tried to compress it or try to fit it somewhere else. No, it needs to live just where it's living, that kind of stuff. So this was one of those tracks. So thank you very much, Hendembla. Ginger, you is up. All right. Uh-oh. Wait, Ginger, this is you? Everybody, we're listening to Ginger's track. This is a track from Ginger. So let me read here. I got back into music production and made a couple of songs last week. The message that follows in my description from the EP on Bandcamp. Okay, so he's on Bandcamp. We got to remember that. The EP marks my first real foray into music production since 2019, but it represents a journey much longer than that. I found my place behind the decks, DJing, and community that felt like home. At the heart of that home was my friend Espy. Yeah. She was one of my biggest supporters. I don't think she ever missed a single one of my streams. Her energy was constant, and she had a way of lifting everyone around her. After her sudden passing, the music went quiet for a while, but a few months later, something shifted. I found myself wanting to do more than just play the tracks I loved. I wanted to build them from the ground up. I like to think that in some way, SB's spirit, soul, and essence helped me find the inspiration. Oh my God, excuse me, the inspiration to create again. This music is the result of that spark. These tracks were built with the same energy as she brought to every set, intense, soaring, and unapologetic. This EP is for SB. You lifted us all. Thank you very much. That is just wonderful. She definitely made an impact on a lot of people here on this journey, so we definitely miss SB. All right, so through the stream of spirituality of SB being with all of us right now, and also as a creative, you say this primer for Ginger getting back in the seat there. This is Ginger, and this is the Unknown Collection. Okay, let's go. Sorry about that. Unknown Connection. Yes, sir. Dude. The drum change up, your percussion, everything is really cool, but it's your two tones back there that's really pulling me through. That was a good Zilla tip there. I love the breath you gave here, taking the snare out. Nice break right there. It almost seems like this is the jungle beat that you have, but cut time. And I dig it. That thing that you're using back there, that's kind of a broken sound design, but very wide, and it's stereo imaging. It's in the back. Oh, that was it? Dude, I could have gone on for another minute. First, before I go and say anything to everybody who liked the track, I'm dropping the link right in here. So if you want to go visit this and bookmark it or listen to it on your own and put it on loop, it's there on his YouTube channel. I really dug this track. Now, I don't know. I've always watched DJs and stuff, and I know there's a lot of pre-production work that goes on before they do their shows. My question to you is really quick. I know that DJs use different tools. They have the little itty bitty mini looking turntable things to do things that are programmed uniquely. Then there's the pads. You know, I've noticed there's a lot of DJs that have pads and stuff like that. My question to you is all of the stop and start shifts and the unique programming that happens, are you like hitting the cowbell? So in other words, is the loop going as you've programmed it or you assembled it, and then you on the fly add stuff to it as a DJ performing it? You know what I mean? This was all painted on the playlist from FL Studio. Okay, I think I understand what that means. But all I have to say is I really super dug it. You know, I think, and I was like, wow, it's over, and I wasn't even expecting it to be. I was really just getting into it. I think something else, too, that was really keeping me pulled in was your use of ambient tones that have really wide, stereo imaging. You know, all of your stuff had except for the drums, obviously so, and thankfully so, didn't have really intense left to right, stereo imaging, where you had different little things that kind of really moved around a lot. And for me, that's like half the battle, to listen to good music and stuff like that. There's just this sensation that I feel, when I hear really good stereo imaging that pulls me in, So anyhow, that was a great track. Everybody, that was Ginger. Yes, I love it when we have our Kados bringing in your own music, man. That's really important to me. It's important to us. We're that community. Feel safe. Feel safe here with the Kados and bring in your own music, for God's sakes, please. Right? Everybody in the chat say right, thumbs up, something, right? This is what we do. We support all of our endeavors here and stuff. God knows I've dragged you through my stuff. Oh, shit. All right, refreshing here, and we're going to continue on. Next up is Makuzia. How are you? How you been? It's good to see you here. I know while I was doing the 140K redeems, there was a lot of people hanging out and just listening and stuff and enjoying. But some people I know that they're busy, they're working and stuff. It's good to see some of the usual suspects here. So, Makuzia, it's great to see you here. All right, every time he brings us something, it's going to. Oh, here we go. So no message here, a la Makuzia. He's always just drops it in, just. This is from the anime Frieren. You guys are going to have to give me a phonetic spelling of it, please. Thank you. The name of the song is First Class Mage. All right, guys. Frieren, thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks, Turlo. All right, here we go. Wow, there's a nice little mix of genres in this. Huge. Well, I mean, obviously, I love the Celtic influence through it. Very epic, too, and cinematic as well. Jeez. Ooh, those big horns back there. Oh, that was it? Bummer, I was getting so into it. So there's an obvious element of the kind of that Celtic, Nordic kind of melody that is in there. Huge though in its cinematic orchestration, if you would, coming in and out of it. One of the things that I love when it happens, it doesn't have often, is in this case, that there's no lyrics with it. That it was just the melody, that the penny whistle, or I don't know what that's definitely not a penny whistle, but the lead wind instrument. Was followed by vocals, but not in it with the intentional use of words. So and but then once it got really huge, it got massive. So I mean, this must probably be maybe either an end theme, perhaps, or a very important, powerful part of the anime, but. Through and through, that was absolutely wonderful to listen to. And I love that combo too. And of course, the little dynamic, when it broke right back down and gave us a little bit of that negative space and a time to breathe, and it came back in with the melody very light, you just knew that it was going to come in, a little heavier. But Makuzi, I take it that everyone's saying that I need to watch this anime. Is that true? Should I be watching this? Is this something that I can do instead of staring at the ceilings with my fan counting fan spins per minute? I've had a lot of people talk about this, in chats and stuff. But now that melody's in my head. But it did, when I'm looking at the characters, though, the first thing I thought of before I really looked at the things is it had this kind of dancing nymph or dancing... fairies or the assortments of the little people with the wings and the stuff like that. And then at the same time I looked, I went, okay, I marry it, that kind of thing as well. So thank you so much, Makuzi. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for coming back in and hanging out with us. It's always good to see you here. Violet Evergarden too, that's another one, huh? It is a battle. Okay, great. You see, that sounded like it could have, like the music had that kind of essence to it. But if it was a battle, though, or no, you're saying it's a battle. It's as if the battle was between the smaller people, whatever the characters and their size might be, versus the bigger people. And all of the little melody of that was more of that. The lead of the battle was their winning, their moving ahead, their, punching forward, if you would. Because that was the lean of the melody, was always kind of, it didn't never surrender. Itself instrumentally. Did I just make any sense whatsoever? Oh my God. Lisa, how are you? Lisa. So I think it's been a minute since I mentioned my adventures in music. This is a track by the band Protocol. And an album I did uncredited, work for, as I specially asked not to be credited for personal reasons. An in-law family member, guess why I didn't want to be credited, was a part of the band. Okay. As the drama unfolds with each sentence. And part of Kansas, which was the band comprised of many former Kansas musicians. And during a visit, he sat down with me and recorded some of me playing guitar to add just a bit more to the album. This is one of the tracks you can hear me playing some of the guitar on. Mainly just the heavily distorted guitar chords in the intro and a couple riffs throughout. Not much, but hey, I could say I played guitar on an album with former Kansas members. Yeah, let's celebrate. Mainly it was because he enjoyed the distorted tone. I got my setup and wanted to add some flavors to the album more so. Then it was about me or my skill adding anything. I mean, I'm not in the league, just to be honest, their league to be honest, but still it was a cool experience, even if I don't associate with the band at all. Hope you enjoy. All right, let's check this out. The band is Protocol. Let's see if we can identify Lisa's guitar work. And the name of the track is When the Rain Comes. All right. There's your heaviness, there's your darkness. I like that sax and organ following together. It's nice, the organ has a little sax. Is this your chunkiness here, Lisa? This is great. I like this part. Very trippy. That reminds me of a line in Bruce Lee in the movie Enter the Dragon.
When the old is new and all the days are through, then the rains will come. So tired and full of time and weary of the climb, then the rains will come. Yes, the rains will come, and life will fall from skies to all who long to see the truth prevail shall
There's a lot of
from clouds
Stephen Wilson Opethy
seashore
infused with this as well.
shall fall upon us suddenly to drink the wine of heaven's grail. In deserts of the mind, you'll thirst for what you'll find.
Great engineering on the troll string.
When the rains have come,
That little passing pad there is great.
of the soul, all the parts made whole. When the rains have come, when the rains have come, now life is raining down upon the earth, cleansing all who seek the truth. It's streaming from above, a mighty hand brings the dream of endless youth. We're walking in the veil of darkness.
This is great. What a great track. he also has these cross elements of ELO, Edgar Winter. Very Boston, yeah. Some Jethro Tull, yes, sir. Great production.
Forevermore. Now still the oceans roar since the rains have come. The blood upon the ground has all creation. The rains have come.
Since the I love that with the flute.
rains have come. So falls the grace to all the race who long to see the truth prevail.
God, this is such wonderful traditional engineering technique here. This placement mix. A lot of air moving in the mix, which is indicative of using a lot of mics instead of direct stuff like we do now. Yeah, maybe like with an LA2A or something like that. Yeah, kind of a soft knee compression. Yeah. This is your riff. Lisa's in there in the last bit of dirt. Oh, that was great, Lisa. Everybody, first of all, that's wonderful to know that Lisa was, a musician on this, and that's such a cool thing to be able to celebrate. So congrats on that. The track was great. It had all these little elements of, like I said, from Jethro Tull. There was a hodgepodge, a Lazy Susan service platter, if you would, of many different representations of infused influences, but then through and through it was protocol. Funny, I'm looking at the artwork here, which you guys can't see here. There's this buffalo, and then there's all the little things in the back, like fossils, like some of the old fossils from that. But there's a little fossil of a saxophone there. It's kind of funny, you can't see it. So I really enjoyed that, Lisa. Thank you so much for bringing that in there. Actually, it very Kansas. A couple of times I'm waiting for "Carry On My Wayward Son," which was my favorite track that when it used to be free skate back in the 70s. And we put on ice skates and skate as fast as we can in the rink, before we crack up. That was my favorite kind of a vibe there. A really quick note there. I think it was Lee, one of our Kados, had sent me an email. If there's anything I could do to fix how YouTube, like you see the little YouTube thing that Snake worked very hard on working with me on getting there. According, also learning from Snake, is that the weird thing in YouTube happened is they've changed their GUI, graphics UI. I don't know what that means. Somebody help me with that. But anyhow, so now when albums come up with just art, it now expands and does all this stuff, and different things actually change now with the GUI. So it is like user interface. Thank you, Krabby. So it's changed, and you know, truth be told, I'm okay with it. It's just a little bit of an inconvenience for some people, and so yeah, that's just what's happening. It's not from our end. Let's all blame YouTube on that one. Lisa, thank you so much, dear. That was wonderful. Really, really appreciate you sharing that with us. I think all of us do here as well. Okay, next up, JMac728. JMac728. Yeah, there could be that too, Almond. Been going down a rabbit hole with some death metal and melodic death metal recently. Might have to come back to share some other great songs I've found. But Opeth, funny enough. We were just talking about Opeth, weren't we? Opeth has really stood out to me still in this genre that I've been listening to in their albums. And as the years have gone by, really risen to the top of artists of mine. Currently at work sending this, so I might have to watch this a little later, but I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you're doing well. Thank you very much. It's really good to have you come out here, J-Mac. You're one of our usual Kados here. I love Opeth, so let's go. Here we go. The name of the song is Master's Apprentice by Opeth. All right, let's go. Boy, that drummer has been lighting up those 16ths since bar one. Hey, Tooth Fairy, no tug. I like that chord pattern. They're just driving it home with the pattern. With that drummer, geez, he's going clinic on us. Oh, nice. I love that. It threw us for a loop on where the one was, or is not. This is what I love about Opeth, is how they shift it up like this with these clean vocals, and it doesn't sound sellout. So digging this. Well, you know why, right? There's that ambient work in the background going on. Wow. This is one of the reasons why I love Opeth so much. Great bass work here. Kind of a deep played sound for that snare, isn't it? That reverb. When was Steven Wilson within the journey of Opeth? Was he like an original member, or was he passing through?
All my questions unfurled. I was put to the test. Once on the road, there's no turning.
Thanks, Murph. Listen to the bass work here. Something cool when they do cut time, you know what I'm saying? We've talked about this many times. Even if it's just a switch up for like 4 bars. Because you did, they bounce back and forth here. Listen to that ride. Oh, the fill on the ride, did you hear that? And that on the right is great. It's actually following the kick as well. Oh, now he steps up in the 16th. Good. Or 8th. Drummer's having the best time ever here. Hands down, absolutely perfect representation of what Opeth is all about, I think, for a very large amount of their fans, is the fact that the authenticity in the genre jumping. First of all, the genre is Opeth. As that seems to be the go-to when it comes to trying to identify certain bands with locking them into a genre. The truth be told, they are their own genre. That push-pull between the opening darker, heavier Opeth that we all know and love with the full raw, vocals that are going on there, and then all of a sudden downshift, roll down the windows, let the wind in your hair. Now we're going to cruise into kind of an acoustic, melodic, not quite psychedelic, but it emotes the energies of just being very like, hey, just rolling your eyes in the back of your head through the rest of that journey. And then bring it back in a little bit, and then on the way out, they kind of fuse that, on this last little section of this. Opeth is an incredible joy for me / us, for most of us to listen to, because of everything that they bring to the table. From the ruthless, darker guitars and the pig squealing, growling, vocals, all the way to some of those beautiful harmonies, man. And of course, I don't know if it's the same vocalist that does the and then gets into the really super smoother, headier kind of vocals. But nonetheless, classic Opeth, and that's why everybody loves Opeth, because they can put us on a journey and not make it feel like it's forced, Yes, Cookie Monster, what I'm talking about. DJ Tambor, are you here, DJ Tambor? DJ Tambor. Composed by Miiko Ishikawa, and arranged by Yukihiro Jindo. Ilburns Ruins is a maze-like dungeon that requires the player to light torches with his fire magic to unlock new paths while fighting enemies. Yes, enemies. Fucking. In the depths of it, he will fight one of those bosses of the game who will defeat the player and push the player into the next dungeon called Zone of Lava. So this is DJ Tambor bringing us from the game The Oath in Felghana. I don't know what YS stands for. What does YS stand for in that title? YS, The Oath in Felghana. And the name of the song is, I think it's Ilburns Ruins. Are we doing that? Let's go. All right. Oh, it's the name of the series. Is it an abbreviated name of the series? Skippy. Neo-house, neo-classical house arrangements. I love the handheld acoustic guitar tones. I like the gallop of that arpeggiation. Oh, thanks for that background, DJ. Nice layered MIDI work on the melody. There's like 3 instruments layered into that MIDI line. There's those guitars. Pretty authentic work, you know, for the guitar, even though it's this. That galloping arpeggiation. So there's definitely kind of a neoclassical vibe, kind of mixed in there, like a classical gas, kind of a hybrid arrangement that's in there. One of the things that the composer did, or in producing this, is that the main melody, there wasn't a lot of really super fat and rich supportive arrangements behind the melody, because the melody was assigned to a series of MIDI instruments that made it fat enough in of itself where it didn't need to have large support. It always had some kind of arpeggiation jumping around. Well, the whole track was very upbeat. And there was always some kind of an arpeggiation going on outside of the obvious house rave kind of, you know, 4 on the floor that was bopping there. But it definitely had a neoclassical kind of vibe to it. The distorted guitar sounded authentic. Could be fooled, but maybe. But the rest of the guitar, like we were hitting the acoustic, obviously is, you know, sampled sounds. Not that a live guitarist couldn't play it. And it was, importantly so, the composer wrote it and arranged it to an authentic, how he would have written it down for a guitar player, you know, play. But, you know, never can tell with budgets or decisions. Sometimes you make the decision to go with the obvious, not so real sounding things, because that's also part of the technique of, you know, certain types of compositions. You know, that you kind of, you know, you can get it to sound better if it's all live musicians, but if it sounds like this, it kind of stays to some kind of sonic history of how maybe other tracks sounded on the video game years before that. I don't know. I'm just kind of guessing there. But very fun, very, like I said, very neoclassical rave house kind of vibe there. I dug that. Thank you very much. Next up, Caving 1021. What's going on, Caving 1021? No message here, but I'm a very big fan of this band. Everybody, this is from Caving. The band is Mastodon, and the song that we're doing is The Sparrow. You guys ready? Let's go. All right. Drummer's moving just a tick fast. I love that. Giving me little Pink Floyd vibes here. love that vocal production. So heady. There's another. There's a little arrangement back there. I love that. There we go. This is definitely giving me a little bit of the Wall vibes. MIDI guitar. Sounds like it, yeah. Caving, when was this released? So they have some kind of pitch maneuver in there, maybe pedal-wise. There's a part right there where I'm waiting to hear from Losing My Religion. Losing my religion. Something like that. I'm sorry. Just my head went there. That lower. Ah, that's trippy. A lot of layers going through here now. As simple as it is. Hey, welcome aboard, So Canadian. Oh, there's more. Mastodon never ceases to amaze me. I love the different colors that they throw into their production. Kind of has, you know, it's been this kind of a journey on this stream where you have an Opeth style or a Mastodon style way of delivering things, and it's really flexing on giving you a kind of like an experience of a lot of different dynamics and a lot of emotions, you know, that are threaded through it. What I loved on this, the very first thing that made me kind of sit back and go, "Ooh, take a deep breath," was when the vocals first came in. So there wasn't an official single melodic vocal line as much as it is kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Repetitive chorus work, repetitive choral work kind of stuff. You know what I mean? And so at that point, I just started to kind of get, I started rinsing into the instrumental aspect of what the track was, you know, and kind of getting into all the little different arrangements that were starting to pop up and kind of keeping us on that journey there. But there were some references. I think one of my stronger leans is that for me, in my limited discography, leaned a little bit more into the kind of the Wall version of Pink Floyd and some of the tones there. I don't know why I thought of that one hook in that one part of the vocals that I mentioned before, Losing My Religion or something like that, but that is kind of what I pulled from it. But once again, just another great track from kind of an Opeth. It's in the same lineup, you know, that whole kind of experiential kind of journey with the different kind of dynamics in the track that really made me go, yep, I'm digging it. Turnip, how are you, Bubba? Good to see you here. Turnip says, aloha. I think you'll love this one. That's all he wrote. So let's see what Turnip's bringing to us. This is a game OST. The game is Mugenix, and the name of the song is Flush. Let's go. This is like a detective 60s surf, you know.
Swirled round the pole, shot through a hole, pushed through a pole, spun out of control, sprung from a sprout.
Wow, this is trippy. I dig this.
That's what it's all about when you're flushed out and out. Down in the underground, you've got to mind the go. You gotta grab a scoop and start piling up the pool. You gotta work from 9 to 5 and 5 to 9 again. It keeps on coming down the pipe and it never seems to end. Oh, when you're swirled round the pole, shot
I really love the production.
pushed through a pole, spun out of control, sprung from a sprout, spit out a spout. That's what it's all about when you're flushed
I love the percussion. They're using pots and pans, it seems like, and, you know,
Clattering clank goes from tank to tank.
keeping it like it would be percussive in a shanty
Never
vibe.
seems to go back from whence it stands. Just like a subway station, but the only mode of transportation comes in the form of flotation, and it's no vacation.
There's vocals with that organ descending. I love that.
Swirled round the bowl, shot through a hole, pushed through a pole, spun out of control, sprung from a
The
sprout.
percussionist, it almost seems like he's got a kitchen sink set up around him.
What it's all about when you're flushed out and out. 3 little turds perched by your doorstep. And my advice would be that you don't take one more step. Just before you got here, well, everything was the same. You're just another number, and number 2 is your name.
That little surf guitar rockabilly vibe, I love it. I don't know what to make of the flush with the toilet paper thing in the end. Probably has something to do with the game. I thought the track was super, super catchy. And I don't know that there's necessarily a genre, but it definitely had to me some of the older kind of detective style, surf guitar, a little bit of, like this would have been like a great Lupin track, you know? Yeah, this is definitely scattable. But kind of a Lupin kind of, you know, super cool Shaka-Doobies kind of vibe to it. And I turned up, I did like lean into the percussion before you mentioned it. I was like going, it sounded like they just had a series of pipes and stuff and like one or two wood, you know, things to be hitting off of it. And it could have been really rando, you know. Of course, I mean, if you've got a professional percussionist there that's, you know, oh, you could scat to that. I'm sorry, I just got that, Alman. Jesus. I should have known, right? But I really dug the how the percussion actually got a really good placement in the mix, like that bing bing bing, you know, where it was located inside, you know, in the mix and stuff, stereo wise. I thought that played an important part of it too. But I like the whole laid back. I wonder what would that genre be? I don't know. It's like like I said, little detective spaghetti western surfer guitar, you know, 60s surfer guitar kind of vibe. But yeah, I'm just saying, yeah, no, I just got that too. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm slow. I can't help it, I'm old. You all know this. All right, guys, here we go. Great Sage Sun, you're next. Another grand Epica performance for the road. Everybody, this is Great Sage Sun bringing in the band Epica. The name of the song is Code of Life. Let's go. Right in on it. Wow. Jeez. That like always unlocks the soul when you ever get in kind of the Persian riff in there. I don't know that keyboard though. Like this riff. Freaking huge. Her voice. Nice fill. Was there a little hiccup there in the drum? Jesus. You know, something like this. You know, the thing is first of all, the mix is just phenomenal. I guess this must be off an DVD. This is live. I don't know exactly, maybe a year or so. This was posted about 9 months ago. But here's the thing. The engineering is, the song is phenomenal. I just, you know what, you get to a point where you listen to musicians and bands like this, there isn't enough, or if enough hasn't already been said about, you know, their musicianship, songwriting capabilities, vocal capabilities, performance capabilities. And I think recently, I don't know if I did another Epica, was it about a month ago, where I was just, it's outstanding. With the engineering and the mix and stuff. But something on this one, I started thinking, I'm leaning really into it as hard as my ears could go. And a lot of the string lines that do-do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do, I know they're playing, it's live, it's there. But I also started to realize as I'm listening to it that there is a doubling of a lot of that, not all of it, a lot of that with the keyboard guy that was wearing the rainbow piano or the Garfield smile piano. I don't know how you want to call it. That's got to be really difficult or unique to play. He's playing those lines as well. And I was hearing a little bit more of a stab with the lines, with the strings really picking up a lot of the power lift in the back. But that right on the mark, you know, with the chug and the tightness percussively of those arrangements really is also fortified with the line of the keyboardist doing the same exact thing when it comes to a lot of the lead riff stuff that was happening, or the lines that were going that Byzantine scale, as Aman had posted earlier. And so because of the keyboard, whatever sound, that pseudo synthy strings, stabby sound doing that, it really locks that tempo in really super tight, along with the chugginess. So the punch of the chug, the punch of that, you know, and everybody behind it, you know, with the strings and stuff. Obviously, a bombastic live sound. Also the live choral work as well. It's Epica. It's a perfect name for who they are and what their sound is. It absolutely is Epica. And it's got to be a total joy to be, you know, over there as an audience member with this journey too, because I don't know necessarily that a sound in a show can get any more just cinematically powerful as something like this. I mean, I know that Epica, along with Nightwish and bands like that, do the Wiccan festival, the Wiccan festival, and that is their genre, that cinematic metal theater kind of vibe there. This sounded just insane. So thank you so much for bringing that through. Visibility 0. If you're still in the house, I know you were checking in earlier, but we're here. So if you're still here, obviously not, folks. You guys know when this is done, it ends up in one of two places, sometimes both places. Odyssey video, as well as the YouTube channel that I eventually pop this out in. So Vekin, thank you very much, Kamikaze Chicken Vekin. So yeah, that's there for your enjoyment if you do miss your dono or something. So the very first single released by Metalverse, the sister group of Baby Metal. Oh, is this new? All right, or new-ish. It's definitely going to be new to me. So this is the band Metalverse. The name of the song is Giza. All right, and I guess they're kind of along the lines of Baby Metal, so I guarantee it's going to be an extraordinary performance here. Let's see what we got going on. All right. That's a dark, heavy, grindy synth in place of guitar in its vibe. Little stabby sequence.
It's on you.
I love everything that I'm hearing, but it's digi-metal. There's such a genre.
It's on you.
But they're not trying to, they're not trying to pull the wool over our eyes as a fused metal track here. It's some kind of hybrid. There's nothing hybrid about it. It's digi-metal, but it sounds phenomenal. Little dual hook there. So, yeah. First of all, the track in of it itself slammed. Full stop. Of course, my ears goes into a different kind of a space. Trying to identify where are the guitars blended with the synths, what's going on there. My brain goes into techie mode to the best of my ability. The older I get, the harder it is for me to discern whether these are brand new tricked out guitar tones, if they're a combo. In this case, my intuition was just, leaning into the fact that this was a really powerful digi-metal track that can be easily reproduced with a djenty metal live performance. That last, the last 8 bars, I said, okay, that sounds a little more guitar driven, but there was never anything definitive, like that's guitar, this is the bass, everything. They had a lot of great stuff going on in the back. The traps, the interaction between trap programming and some of the breaks, along with more of the live drum sound work going on. I like I can't do it in this is an octave lower. There was like a synth line that was going on behind the hook that I found to be more hooky than the hook itself. Vocals sounded great. Everything was great, but it was very, very clean, very scalpel in its production and everything. And it's getting to a place where it's like I'm just sometimes when I see trends that have already happened many, many times before, boy bands, girl bands, different things and all that, you know, when all of a sudden something works and all of a sudden you're going to see 2 or 3 more that's going to lean on the same formula, you know, 3 artists, you know, a lot more choreography and stuff, and then kind of using different genres as in to kind of broaden an audience base, you know, use the metal elements of it, but do it with a digi thing, but do it this way too, because then it's recognizable to people that like, you know, hardcore EDM or EDM core, or I don't know, what's it called, Ginger? There's that electronic core that has a very dark synthy, you know, aggressive synth sounds to it and stuff. But as a track, I fully dug it. I love the track. I loved all the production and stuff like that, but my brain just went into that other mode. All right, this is my last track from the Donos. Then I'm going to take a short break. And then I'm going to come back and we're going to do some Wheel of Cheese, okay? So just stand by. This is my last track. Snows, I noticed that you came in and dropped another one, but it's not showing up on this one because you already had your donor redeemed. So it's marking it down as today. So the next time I come back, I'm going to get that other one you just dropped. But we're not doing it today. It's not even showing up on my form, but I noticed it on my little activity feed here. Brexter, you're my last person up for the donor run of the stream here. Twitch bits. We got Twitch bits. This is Marilyn Manson, In the Air Tonight. All right, here we go, guys. Yes, I'm definitely doing cheese a little later, or after my little break here. Oh, is this Phil Collins track in the air? Oh, it's a duet. Let's go. No, I removed the link, Skeletank. I guess we could put it back up. But no donos, please. Great intro. This sounds a lot more sinister and heavier. Obviously, Miss Marilyn's cover. Gotta say, I really like what he's done to it in the production and making it his own.
How could I ever forget? It's the first time Stranger than you and me. I can feel it coming. I can feel it coming.
Well done. But this is a mashup, so what I don't know is this is. I mean, obviously, it's a remake on Marilyn Manson. I just don't know where the production is all about. Well, okay, so that was obviously a live performance, and it's a mashup, and very well done. You know, whenever you do a cover of any song, you know, trying to make it your own is probably the biggest, most difficult thing there is to do it. You know, I love doing covers for myself, just for no other reason than I just love the songs. But you got to try to do everything you can to make it original, but still keep enough of it together that you know, people will be able to sing along or remember where the hook is and stuff. Yeah, I was taken back too. I was waiting for the ba 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 ba, and it didn't come in where I thought it would come in. I loved where he brought it in. I loved the production and the fusion of however and whoever did the mashing up like that in the arrangement. That was really well done. You know, I don't. This looked like this could have been something that happened many, many years ago, and maybe this is just a, you know, a reposting or something. I'm not too sure because Manson looks like he's much younger in there, but then again, I could be wrong about that because most of the time I am. All right, guys, I'm going to take a short break. All the donos are done, and then I'm going to jump in and do a little bit of cheesy, just a short run of cheese, but I just want to go to the restroom, drink some water, and give me about 5, maybe 10 minutes. I'll be back. If you're still here, you're here. If not, thanks for coming out and chilling. If you're back, I'll see you in about 10 or 15 minutes. Let me rig up a